Midnight Double Feature presents Bad Crystal, a Breaking Bad podcast. On this episode, we bring you Season 3, Episode 9, Kafkaesque, written by Peter Gould and George Mastras and directed by Michael Slovis. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Bad Crystal, a Breaking Bad podcast. I'm with my main man, Colin, as always. Colin, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Excited to be back. Sorry, let me clear some of that meth off my throat. Excited to be recording Breaking Bad again because it's been a minute, and I've been wanting to watch this show. So it's nice to be back in the saddle again, as U2 says.
Yes, I feel like we say this every time we sit down to record. We've just taken our longest break between episodes in a very long time. It's just, it's a combination of us being lazy, but also life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah.
We have a podcast, we have a green room that we need to satisfy. But you guys are going to hear this a fortnight after the last episode, so it's not going to impact you at all. But here we go. We're here talking Season 3, Episode 9, Kafkaesque. Socials in the show notes. Green Room member. Head to patreon.com/Midnight Double Feature. Let's get into this. Kafkaesque. Colin, overall, what did you think about this episode? This is a process-driven episode, I would say.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by that?
So we see the process. So Gus's industry, sort of Gus's, I guess not industry, but like setup. The process from Walt to Jesse and the way it gets shipped out to different restaurant locations. But also the process of Walt impacting Skylar and her lying. And the tendrils of this, and the tendrils and the tentacles of this monster that is Walt, just kind of like infecting everyone around him.
Right, yeah. I feel like there's Heisenberg episodes and then there's Walt episodes, and this is kind of a mix of both. You see him as Heisenberg and Walter. But yeah, you see a lot of deception out of Skylar, which was really interesting, and her becoming more duplicitous and understanding in what's going on, and her becoming more of a, not a co-conspirator, but she's not going to the police either, and she's lying about it now and stuff. And that's not to say she like revels in it, but it's just a necessary evil to her, probably. So
or is it justice? Because we can talk about it when we get closer to it, but like there might be a sense of justice to it too, right? Because she says, I have a feeling Hank is in here because of you, right? So is it, do you deserve all this money that you're sitting on because your brother-in-law is basically dead, right? There should be some
right,
punishment.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder, about the parallels of Walt and Hank, and the parallels of them both being hospitalized and facing enormous debt, both public servants, one a teacher, one a cop. The very interesting kind of lives on paper that sound somewhat similar, but couldn't be further from each person. Very different. So all in all, I enjoyed it a lot as an episode. I like what we see. What is Jesse's probably the worst thing I've seen Jesse do, which is like turn everybody in the meeting into public advertising. That's fucking insane. Like that's like now, I don't know, like he's becoming a full Heisenberg acolyte, it's kind of, but that's not even something Heisenberg would do, like, like that's just like, that's like something a video game villain does. Like, Jesus, that is fucking menacing, man. There is an E on this podcast, by the way, for a reason. No, but all in all, I thought it was a really great episode, and it pushed a lot of the characters forward, our main characters forward, and it features basically everybody, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think everyone gets some decent play in this episode. So let me. So Franz Kafka, right? I guess the person that this episode was named after, but also a couple moments that are mentioned throughout this episode. Kafka was, I guess, a novelist. He was known for creating nightmarish sort of sequences and settings, but he would often have characters that would. The Kafkaesque setting is like they often lack a clear course of action to escape the situation. So that was something that really stuck out to me. Lacking a clear course of action to escape the situation. And I think that's very apparent in this episode. We'll come to talk about it, but I just
Yeah,
thought
it's
that
a
was
good,
really,
yeah, it's
really
a good
great
description.
by Gilligan. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so we kick off the episode. By the way, I thought this was a great episode. Sorry, I didn't even fucking get my thoughts. I thought this was a great episode of TV, man. Like I said to you just offline, I was up till 2 a.m. last night just taking notes for this thing, and couldn't have been happier. I'm so
Yeah.
driven by it, dude. I just, yeah, love it, man. Let's kick this off. So we get this advertisement for Los Pollos Hermanos. By the way, I'm wearing their t-shirts. So
Yeah, I see that.
that's
Your
awesome.
whole room right now, like the sun is beaming in, your walls are white, your shirt is white. I'm like, I'm over here just like squinting into into the
You're
fucking
like
sun.
you're like I'm sitting here in a blizzard.
Yeah, I feel like I've just turned on like the warp speed and the Falcon. Like it's like,
Goddamn. Fuck. What's her name again from Misery? She's gonna come and rescue you.
oh, Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. Yeah. But yeah, we get this advertisement for Los Pollos Hermanos, and all I can say is, goddamn, the food looks good.
Yeah, I'm about to fuck this chicken. I tell you, that's about to happen. Good God,
You're about
good
to straight
Lord.
up Hanson this shit from Scary Movie 2, right?
Yeah. Take my strong hand. No, it's gross. Give me the other one. I can't. It isn't strong enough. That's one of my favorite lines in all of cinema. It's so fucking funny.
How about a leg?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen this. Were you in Stomp?
We went stomp. I'm gonna be the bigger man and walk away. Walk away.
Let me give you a hand. That's
I've been
that's one.
watching Schitt's Creek, and he's in that. He's got a pretty
Oh, I
prominent
love
part.
Chris Elliott.
Yeah,
He's a comedic, brilliant guy.
yeah. But yeah, this teaser opening is kind of it's. I like the sort of like juxtaposition of the fast food, right? So it's this American sort of like co-opted culture, and then it's transforming into this manufacturing machine that is sort of like Gus's operation,
Right.
um, which is now kind of like in full force because Hank's out of the equation, right? Um, and it was just this transition between the seasoning and the meth. Can
Yeah.
we just come on, man? It's
No, it's
brilliant,
good. Yeah, it's really good. Well, like watching these people bag up this meth and stuff, it feels like you're going through a fucking drive-through, you know? Like it
insane,
feels
man,
crazy the fact that there's all that money on the table. That's nuts. Like
insane.
all the product and money and shit right in front of them.
And them, it's such a well-oiled machine. Them putting it into the batter, and then them using the stamp, and which can only be identified using UV lights. And the truck's leaving like they just left fucking Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Right.
um, as Gus just stands there watching them head out. It's yeah, it just feels so well oiled, and this seems like an operation that only Gus can conduct. Someone who is so fixated on the little details. I really dig it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
Also, just a little important note: no spoilers, but in this commercial, we see a mention of something called Madrigal Electromotive. Um,
Okay.
just keep that in mind.
Okay. Or
Madrigal Electromotive. Yeah, keep it in mind. So title card, Jesse and Walt, they're over by a pound and a half, right? Walt says it goes as is, stop complicating things. Jesse complains that they're bleeding them already. He's been crunching the numbers. He says the deal is bullshit. $1.5 million each isn't shit compared to what Gus is getting. $40 a pound, 200 pounds a week for 3 months, 2,400 pounds, $96 million. So,
oof, yeah, it's $100 million operation.
mhm.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think
mean,
about this? What do you think about Jesse's? Because Walt leaves here, right? Walt says, "You are now a millionaire and you're complaining." And obviously this is a bit rich coming from Walt, but
mhm.
you know, Jesse kind of like notices it too that it's a little out of character. He says, "What's been going on with you lately? Do you think it's the shooting? Like, do you think that because at this point we think that Walt's sort of figured out that I don't think the buck stops at $96 million. I think it's more.
Mm.
Because when he sits down with Gus, he's like, "Hey, you kind of just effectively took out your competition."
Right, right. We're talking
S-
about billions now.
yes, yeah. So what do you think about this? What do you think about Walt's reaction to this, but also Jesse being like, "Hey, we're getting the shit end of this deal."
Yeah, there's no way that Walt doesn't obviously he knows, that they're going to be over. But I think for Walt, he's like, "Fuck you! I piss 40 grand.
Right.
I piss your what is it, a pound and a half? Basically, they're over. He's looking at a little over 60 grand. He's like, fuck, I'd piss on that, man. I piss on your 30 grand. We're gonna split each when we're making over a million. And like you said, you just don't complicate things. You leave work at work. You don't try to take a pound and a half of meth out of work and then go sell it on the street and make your money, there on top of the 200 pounds you give them, which is what I'm assuming Jesse's kind of talking
Yes,
about
he takes the
is
overflow. Yeah.
right. And that's a good way, to get fucking shot. And that's a good way to get killed is walk out of your meth compound with a pound and a half of meth on you, every time you go cook. And eventually someone's going to start noticing something. So I find it really unplausible, but so I get where Jesse's coming from because over enough times, that is a lot of money being left on the table. But at the same time, it's not really like you said. Don't complicate things, and stop looking in the. Walt has a point too, even though it's totally hypocritical of him. But he does have a point in a general sense of like, stop looking in the other guys. Like what does Tony Soprano say about Livia? He goes, "You know what? You're a lady with a ham under each arm. Ask him where's the bread," or something
Yeah.
like that. And that's what Jesse kind of is to me. But at the same time, he does have a point, and he's like, "I'm not hitting my full potential. I'm not being." Reimbursed for all of my work, which is a genuine thing. But his bigger point is he wants to look in his neighbor's backyard and, all the stuff that they have that he doesn't, kind of thing.
Yep. Dig that a lot. We cut over to the hospital. Marie's looking after Hank. She says, this is Marie being Marie. They're not moving his legs enough.
Yeah.
She's obviously beside herself. Gomez comes in, asks Marie if it's okay if he visits. Hank whispers for Gomez to come closer, and he's just like, asshole.
Yeah.
Gomez shows Hank a map of where the blue meth has showed up, and it's everywhere, right? Including Albuquerque, especially Albuquerque, should I say. And Walt's obviously in the background. He notices. Gomez says to Hank, "You're the only one who saw this coming." Hank says he didn't see this coming, a day late and a dollar short as usual. He tells Gomez about the warning call. Someone called his cell and told him to expect it. And it's at this point that Walt is listening in on this intently, right?
Hmm.
In the car, Skylar asks Walt whether they're safe, to which he says yes. But then she asks the more pertinent question, "Are you safe?" Walt says, "Absolutely." But his face doesn't really paint that picture. It's just kind of like,
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely.
Right. He's got the face of a man who knows he just dodged a bullet.
Right.
And I don't want to go past Gomi either because I love Gomez.
Yeah.
Like I love him as a character. He's such a nice guy. There's something that, even though I know kind of like the outcome of what happens between Hank and Walt and stuff,
I
like
hate
I
that
can
so
see it.
much, by the way. I hate that
I
you
know,
know.
but I could see a story where it's Gomi that takes down Hank, or takes down Walt. It's like, oh shit, like yeah, this guy I could definitely see him kind of, figuring everything out and putting the pieces together. He's a good cop. He's a smart cop.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I don't blame you for knowing what the outcome is, only because like it's so rooted in popular culture. It's like knowing that Luke blew up the Death Star, you know?
Right. Yeah. Right. It's a little hard to cover it up at this point.
Right, exactly. I mean, we're what, nearly 10 years past the finale. Holy shit, it's been 9 years. That's insane.
Yeah. Been a while.
Jesse is at group. He says one day pretty much bleeds into the next. Says he's got a job at a corporate laundromat. It's a dead end job. Sounds kind of Kafkaesque. And he's like, yeah, majorly Kafkaesque. He's got no
Oh
idea
my
what it
god.
means.
I
But
mean, I'll be honest. Like, I think I've Googled it a long time ago,
mhm,
and I kind of remember barely the gist of it. But even I had to like look it up and be like, "Wait, what the fuck does that mean?"
right. I just think like yeah, it basically means unable to escape a hellish nightmare, right? That's the crux of
Right.
it.
It's well, like the way Jesse described it, it's like dead-eyed people stuck in dead-eyed
Right.
jobs, and there's a bunch of red tape, and it sounds like, almost like 1984 or something. It feels just like everything's very rigid and
Unchangeable.
um, bureaucratic.
Mhm. Yeah. Sounds like my job, actually.
Yeah. Right.
Oops.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just cut that out. Anyway, so Ted Beneke sent Hank some gifts. Skylar, of course, looks super uncomfortable. The doctor walks in, checks Hank's peripheral responses. He's having some minor feeling back in his legs. Marie looks pretty happy. The doctor says some nerve function is returning, and Marie wants to know when he can walk again. And then you just cut to the doctor telling Marie to manage her expectations. Marie asks, "You
uh,
can't know for sure."
do you know who this doctor is?
I know he's in
Have we
Big Bang
talked about
Theory.
him? Have we talked about him before?
No, maybe I don't know.
This is Milos from Seinfeld, the
Oh,
tennis
that's
instructor.
right. Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
yes, yes,
god.
yes.
Oh, he is one of my favorite annoying fucking characters on that show. Uh, Look at the little baby, and he just gets his ass kicked after. What are you doing? I'm like, oh my god.
He's also in Big Bang Theory. I think that's where I first saw him. I haven't seen all of that show, just the early seasons, but yeah, he's also in that too. Um, yeah, he plays a doctor in that as well.
Son
Weird.
of a bitch.
Um, I love this scene. I love this scene because it really gets into the difficulty of the American healthcare system. um,
Mhm.
Something that yeah, I'm not going to say I'm an expert in. I know a little bit about it. Colin, obviously, you're more of an expert than I am, but a lot of people have said that. Yeah, no, a lot of people have said that if this show took place in Canada, it'll be you wouldn't really have a show because
Right,
Walt would be
right.
able to afford healthcare.
Yeah, if this took place basically anywhere else in the civilized world, yeah, it wouldn't. It would. It's a show that only works in America.
Yeah,
Yeah, because yeah, it is an insane, crippling debt to try to take on.
definitely. Marie's looked into physical therapy. She says the sooner we get started, the better. Plans treatment. Her plans treatment covers 4 sessions a week. Actually, she asked the doctor. Fucking
All
Skylar
right,
jumping in,
Jesus.
dude. These two women would be so hard to deal with. Just
Oh my
can you imagine
god.
being a retail worker and these two approached your desk?
Yeah,
Just
as Marie walks out the front door with her purse jingling.
right, right, exactly. Kleptomaniac. Marie's reminded of the hundreds of thousands of dollars that she may be out of pocket for if she goes out of the insurance. She says, "To hell with your plan." Jesse meets with Saul, who's getting a massage during the conversation. Just, oh, I love him. I love him so much. Bob
Yeah.
Odenkirk. By the way, I think I can't remember if we've recorded an episode since Better Call Saul aired. Well, it aired its finale. Sorry, I'm gonna say I don't think we did.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, Better Call Saul ended a couple months ago, and it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Great.
Oh, that's cool.
Like honestly, like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is both neck and neck now. Like Better Call
See, and
Saul is yep,
well, like, I wanna do Better Call Saul, like, I wanna do a podcast after this, obviously, Better Call
yep.
Saul, but I do not wanna do it one episode at a time again.
Right, right. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep it a surprise. But like, yeah, there's no sort of like tension like there is in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. It's going for something different, I think.
Mhm.
Um, Better Call Saul's more of a character study than Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's very obviously, there's amazing characters in the show, but it's very plot driven. Um,
Right, right, yeah, that's why I always kinda point out those distinctions of when it's a character episode versus a plot
yeah,
episode.
yeah,
It's kind of like X-Files, is it about the government and the aliens, or is it a monster of the week, like, kinda thing, there's always
exactly.
different kinda episodes.
So Saul offers Jesse the nail salon as an avenue to launder money for 312 grand. And Jesse doesn't go for it at first, but Saul hammers home the power of the IRS, the tax man. If they
Mhm.
can get Capone, they can get you, he says. And Saul breaks it down, right? He tells Jesse to give him his money. That's called placement. You take the dirty money and slips it into the cash flow. That's called layering. And then the revenues from the salon goes to Jesse, which is called integration. These things are real. These
Mhm.
are so the Anti Money Laundering Act in Australia deals with integration, deals with placement, deals with layering. When I used to work for KPMG, I didn't work in the anti money laundering sort of like team, but that's what they were sort of like looking out for when they had clients who came and were like, "Hey, can you analyze our finances because we need to report to the Australian Taxation Office and show them that we're not doing any of this."
Oh,
So yeah, this is a real thing that Saul lays out for Jesse. Obviously, it's a much more simplified version, but yeah, you get the gist. Um, Saul says that it's 17% for Jesse, his
Jesus.
cut. Privileges of seniority when he says that, hey, Walt is only taking 5%. You can just imagine how that conversation went, right? I mean, did we see that conversation? I don't remember
I can't remember it either.
because Saul would be shit scared of Walt when they're making those negotiations.
Oh, yeah.
So Walt heads out to the chicken farm to meet with Gus. Gus asks about Hank, says he's glad he'll live. And he asks Walt how he can help him. Wait, okay, I got a question for you. When Gus asks about Hank, and he says, "I'm glad he'll live." Do you think he's being genuine, or do you think he just doesn't give a fuck?
I don't know, it's that I think that's kind of what's so great about Gus is that you can't really tell if he's actually being, uh, not, "I am glad that your family member isn't going to die," or is it, yeah, I don't give it 2 shits about this guy. I'm just being uh, polite and respectful. I don't really care. Of course, I want this guy dead. He's a DEA agent. Like he's my main cook's brother-in-law. Like that. And it's a crazy risk for Gus because it's like Hank is really the most baggage that Walt has on him. If you put yourself in Gus's shoes and look at Walt, what is the first problem you're going to see is Hank. It's like so. It's I
Yeah.
feel like I don't feel like he really gives a shit. I feel like he's just being cordial.
Well, that's definitely how I sold the show to people who hadn't seen it before, right? Like, I was just like, yeah, it's about a chemistry teacher who decides to cook meth, and his brother-in-law is a DEA agent. That's
Ugh,
yeah,
it's almost like a sitcom.
right, exactly. Oh, happy days.
Yeah. Everybody knows, dun, dun, we're Breaking Bad. Dun, 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 dun. It's like
Uh,
people tripping over each other on front lawns and landing in a pile
whoa.
of leaves, and they're like,
They're
it's
just
like an
like
old.
laughing and shit.
What is that Family Guy thing where he's like, oh yeah, look at that show in the bottom right, and it shows like a bunch of friends, and they're all
Oh
kind of shoving
yeah,
each other. It's like, shoving buddies. It's
it's
a good
shoving
show.
buddies. Yeah,
That's so fucking funny.
yeah. That show just brilliance, brilliance
Yeah, early seasons for sure.
for sure. Walt wants to clear the air, right? He says there are some issues that could cause a misunderstanding, and it's in their best interest to lay the cards on the table. He tells Gus that Hank was called as a warning. He believes the same person saved Walt from the twins. steered them away from Walt and pointed them to Hank. Quote, he made that phone call because he wanted a shootout, not a silent assassination. In one stroke, he bloodied both sides, set the American government and Mexican government against the cartel, and cut off the supply of meth to the Southwest. If this man had his own source of product on the US side, he would have the market to himself. The rewards would be enormous.
Hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, I I think it's interesting. I guess that what he's saying, and just to be 100% clear, because sometimes I am still a little bit confused, is that Gus wanted a fire. He wanted a fire for the U.S. government will look at it because an agent of theirs is attacked, but then also the Mexican government's going to react because of these twins just hopping over the border and just walking over here and starting all the shit. So by doing that, I guess that tightens the DEA's grip around the border and cuts off effectively a lot of
Correct.
drugs that would normally be. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood that perfectly well.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty fucking crazy. And again, it's Gus playing in his best interest, and Walt even admits that. It totally makes sense. I'm moving the pieces on the board to protect my queen, which is basically Walt. He needs Walt. He's the one that can really kind of move around, and I'm shifting my pieces. And yeah, I'll sacrifice these two pawns to get your rook to come out, and I'll take him out. And it's like that's cool. It's just like you see the mental chess game going on. Have
Yeah,
you
it's
ever played
definitely.
chess? You big
I
chess
love
guy?
chess. Can
Yes,
we?
dude. We should download
Yes,
the.
I've
Yeah.
got the app. Come on,
Oh,
let's
cool.
go.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. I love playing chess.
What's your username?
Yeah,
we start
I'll
doing
have
it
to
over here.
download it. Yeah. My
Knight
email
to
address is Colin.
D5. Oh, dude, can we get it going, please? Because
Yeah, yeah.
Stephanie does not play chess. No one in my family plays chess. I've got a chess set and I can't play with anyone.
Oh yeah, Lindsay last Christmas got me one from like Turkey that somebody had like carved my name on the side of it and stuff.
Oh,
It's
that's
pretty
brilliant.
cool. It's like a really badass wooden board. Yeah, I love chess.
Yeah,
And I
awesome, man.
apparently so does Gus. Gus is pretty fucking good at it.
Oh, dude, Gus strikes me as someone who would enter competitions, like with the timer, like the little thing that you press.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What would you
that's
do
him.
if Gus was like, I play checkers? You're like, all right. Wasn't expecting that. I like
I
the click
play
of the sound they make.
mahjong.
Yeah. I do Sudoku.
Yeah, no. Can you imagine if he just plays Call of Duty all day? He's just like not even interested in board games at all.
He loses and just goes and murders the person in real life.
Oh, dude, he swats him.
Yeah.
Have you heard of swatting?
Oh god, yeah. It just happened to Adriana Chechik. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Shame. Shame. I hope her back's all right.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
That's just wild. Great titties though. Anyway, so
She's gorgeous, yeah.
where are we?
Breaking Bad.
Okay, yes, Breaking Bad. Sorry, you got me thinking about porn. Um, so
He kind of lays it out for him, right? Like,
yes, Walt says that he respects the strategy, right? Which is interesting because it's like, is this Walt directly learning from Gus?
mhm.
Gus's timing and Gus's movements is my question is Gus inadvertently creating someone who can overthrow him? Inadvertently creating someone who is
Oh,
learning from him.
oh, gotcha. Is he Palpatining a Vader?
Yes, yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is interesting. Maybe he kind of underestimates exactly how smart Walt is. That is kind of interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Hmm. Yeah. Walt says in his position, and I think this is the key giveaway. He says he would have done the same,
Mhm. Right.
right? I think that's kind of what Gilligan and company are really pointing towards, right?
Right. Yeah. It's pretty fucking crazy when you think about it.
Hmm. Walt questions the ending of the 3-month contract. He wants security for his family. Gus says, "We honor the contract, 3 million for 3 months, but we can extend it annually, 15 million open ended." Damn,
Yeah. Pretty good.
that's more than enough money that they need, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could do that for 2 years and then just quit. and
Yeah,
then just retire and be done with it.
yeah, for sure. On his way home, Walt puts his foot down on the accelerator and almost ends up in a head-on with collision with a semi. What do you think about this? What was your read of this?
I don't know. It felt, I don't know, maybe I guess a metaphor for Walt just kind of losing control of being he's losing control of a very dangerous game that he's playing. And he is kind of playing chicken. He's playing chicken with Gus. He's playing chicken with Hank. He's really kind of putting everything on the line. Um, a few too many times. And again, even at the end of this episode, they have to basically bear witness and kind of give in a little bit and concede that yes, there's something going on, that we do have all this money and blah blah blah. He's playing a very dangerous game, and I think that it's okay. I mean, it kind of feels like a little bit of filler, if I'm being honest, but I guess I don't hate it either. It just feels kind of out of place.
Yeah, I actually forgot that this happened. I do agree with that, and I think that's most of it as well. I think there's also an element of like I just stared down probably the biggest, baddest drug dealer this side of the Mexican border. I'm kind of invincible, you know.
Right, yeah. Well, I don't know, because he's kinda got this, like, look of relief when he's driving, and he kinda just, like, lets go and doesn't
Mm.
really, just I don't know, I feel like there's just that kind of relief and just, like, letting go.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the listeners think. So, I mean, guys, if you have any thoughts, please send us an email or get in touch. Midnight Feature at gmail.com. Because yeah, that's a wild one. That's a wild situation. So we're back at the group. Jesse's group leader wants to talk about relapse triggers. He asked Jesse if he had the chance to do anything else he ever wanted. What would he do? And man, this might be Aaron Paul's best performance of the entire show by far. Like, this is when he talks about his woodworking project.
Mhm.
Jesse says that he would make something. He'd work with his hands. He'd build something. Woodworking. He talks about his project in woodworking class. This project that he was tasked to make a wooden box to put stuff in. When Jesse showed it to his teacher, he looked at it and said, "Is that the best you can do?" And
Mhm.
this stuck with Jesse, right? He thought to himself, "Maybe I can do better." You know, this resulted in him making the boxes over and over again until it was perfect in his eyes. And I love that description of perfection. Like he's still there is that bit of Walt in him, that
Right.
need to have someone's approval, but also making sure that what you're doing is to the best of its ability if you care about it.
Right, or, is it the challenge? Is it the challenge of somebody throwing down, and being like, "Is that really the best that you got?" Is it
Right.
just, does that just stoke your ego in just such a way that you feel the need to actually kind of, um, retaliate it to such a degree?
Mm, yeah, that's a solid point. Jesse initially says that he gave the box to his mother, right? That's kind of like his gut reaction when he's asked what happened to the box.
Mhm.
And then he immediately pulls it back, right? In reality, he traded it for an ounce of weed. And man, Aaron Paul's delivery of that last line, he's like, I traded it for an ounce of weed.
Right.
You can
Right.
hear the heartbreak in it. You can hear the regret in that delivery, man.
Yeah, very, very much so, and I think it shows a lot, I don't know, a lot of maturity on Jesse's part to admit that after a successful lie. He has no reason to go back and um, edit the facts as it is.
Right. He gains nothing from lying to these people.
Right.
So Ted shows up at Skylar's place while Marie's there. Marie asks whether he's going to come in and shoot Skylar a little glimpse, like a little laugh. She's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, okay, all right, okay." Ted's here. Um, Ted says that he wants to check in. He tells Skylar that he's here for her, and he kind of pleads with Skylar, right? He's like, why is the secrecy necessary? And of course, this riles Skylar up, and Ted leaves. She's like, "Why now? Like, why are you doing this now? You want to do this now? You know? What do you think about this whole thing?"
Um, yeah, it seems a bit clingy for a man who's probably in his early 50s. Her brother-in-law was just an attempted murder victim, and he might not ever walk again. Her husband, she's basically in the middle of leaving the guy. He's got cancer. They have a son who's disabled, for lack of a better term. Yeah, maybe don't start piling on shit to that pile. What are you in such a fucking hurry for? What do you got to get married? Like it seems like he's rushing towards something, and it's like, dude, take your time. Like, if anything, be patient while you can. There's no rush, but it's like I don't know. I feel like Ted is trying to rush towards something now for some reason.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Mhm.
That's a great analysis. Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, he's being very pushy, right? Like he's
Mhm.
being like, yeah, like why are you making this happen? Like maybe because of his divorce, maybe because of his separation, maybe because he's a lonely guy, maybe because he's cooking the books and he
Yeah.
needs some protection. He wants to make sure that his golden goose is still around too. Very much like Gus, right? Wanting to keep Walt by his side,
Right.
to protect his business, wanting to keep Skylar by his side to protect his business. But, you know,
Right. You
just
you
a
need
thought.
somebody there to be uh coerce? Yeah, or no, that's not the right word.
Co-conspirator,
Yeah, kind of a
yeah,
co-conspirator, yeah.
sure, yeah. Um, so we got Badger, Skinny Pete, and Jesse at this cafe, and Jesse's complaining about responsibilities, right? Darth Vader had responsibilities. Death Star, two of them bitches.
2 of them.
Jesse says it's Kafkaesque.
God. That's hard to watch. That's
The
hard to watch.
delivery of his line, dude. Again, Aaron Paul just spitting straight fire in this episode.
Yeah, I've never I love like, I have word of the day, like, on the dictionary app. Like, I get a new word of the day, and I just look up what it and, like, I love learning what words mean. So it's like, "Yeah, what does that mean? I don't know what that means." Like, I've never understood, like, it's not a sign of intelligence to admit that you don't know what it
Right.
means. It's a sign of dumbass to sit there and act like you do know what it means.
Right,
Like,
right. But it's also about power dynamics, right? Like Jesse in front of these two is their leader,
right.
right? Yeah.
He's gotta look like, omnipotent.
Right. He's gonna look like Napoleon.
Mhm,
Yeah. Jesse suggests slinging again, right? Maybe all we need is the meth. Dun dun dun.
mhm. That's
Back at the
true.
lab, Walt focuses on this little spot on a piece of equipment. Like he's so, he's just wiping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look up and it's Jesse spitting, like, spit wads from the top of the balcony.
I wouldn't put it past him. And we see Jesse skim 0.4 of a pound, right? Off the top of the last yield, the latest yield.
Mhm.
At the group, we
Interesting.
at the group we find out that there's a new member. Badger's joined the group. He says, "I'm here. It's meth. It's bad."
Jesus. He's like the 2 of them are like walking billboards for the shit. Like,
Dude,
this is truly awful. Like, this is truly
dude.
probably the worst thing I've seen Jesse do so far.
The rack focus to just Skinny Pete behind him. Not that
Uh
blue stuff.
I as soon as I saw the outline of him, I was like, "No, that's not Skinny Pete." And then it got down, I was like, "Son of a bitch, man!" With reality goggles on, what they're doing is like so incredibly fucked up. But from a comedic, it is hilarious.
It's
Like
brilliant.
it's Jesus Christ, man.
It's brilliant directing, but it is incredibly predatory, right? I mean,
Yes, yeah,
and I think the filmmakers know this because they need us to care about Jesse still, right? We can't have him be too much of a predator, like we can't have him like that. I think that's why it's shown the way it is in like this comedic way. We can't have him being, responsible for the potential deaths of these people who are trying to get better.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think that Jesse's been on such a little kick lately of not really of being kind of the good guy that it is. Maybe it's just a shifting gears. Like, now let's maybe let Walter's influence weigh on him a little bit more. I think would be a very interesting way for him to go.
Definitely. Also, acting must be tough. Like, just fake acting.
Right. Right.
It's gonna
So
be
like
some tough
an
shit,
actor
man.
who's acting like they're acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. Oh no, that blue meth you're talking about. Like, oh my
Right.
god.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
I
the lady who "It's gonna be okay," and I'm like, "Oh my god, how do you sleep at night, man?"
they don't. They're too hopped up.
Yeah,
Marie threatens going to the press, right? They'll all take it because he's a hero. He's not going to be in a wheelchair at 43. Walt asks Marie if there's ever anything that she needs. They're there. He says, I just wish there's something we can do. And of course, this triggers Skylar. Well, we can always pay their bills. And Walt just basically shits his pants, right? He's like, Skylar, what are you? No,
yeah,
not like this, Skylar. No.
yeah. He just, like, starts strangling them both with each one on each hand, and they're
He's crying. He's got tears in each eye. He's like,
yeah. I
um,
am the one who knocks. I am the one who knocks.
um, Skylar tells Marie that Walt earned all this money from gambling. She's becoming a pathological liar, right? Like Walt is
Mhm.
infecting Skylar as well. And I thought Anna Gunn is just outstanding here. Like
Yeah,
she's her
yeah,
delivery is incredible.
she's good, like, she goes a little over the top with it, but she's like, "He was suicidal. He
Yeah,
grew wings and he could shit fucking confetti." Like, "All right, come."
I'll
But
tell you what
but
I
I
love though. Just before we do move on,
mhm.
yes, she goes over the top with it, but that was set up in the first episode. I'm not sure you remember. Skylar was described as being a creative writer who was suffering from writer's block. Um,
Oh, yeah. I
so I
forgot all
just
about that.
I love that plays into this a little bit, like her embellishment of the story.
Uh-huh. It definitely feels like somebody telling a story, you know?
Mm. Hmm. And even Walt is riveted by Skylar's story here, right? But what I what I like about this is that is Walt admiring Skylar's storytelling here, or is Heisenberg attracted to like the depths of her lying?
I think that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it gets him going.
Yeah, the latter for sure, 'cause,
Hmm.
there's, it's the danger, and it's like seeing, it's like playing video games with your girlfriend and she starts getting good and you're kind of like, "Oh, that's awesome," like, and weirdly attractive. That's
I could
awesome.
take you into the back of your room right now.
Yeah, I could go in there and fucking drop in like I'm dropping in on Verdansk and fucking take over the police station.
You can tell it's been a long time since you played Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Verdansk
it's
hasn't
been a
existed for
while.
like 2 years, man.
I played a little bit of the new one, the DMZ, and it was okay, but yeah, I love Verdansk. It was cool.
Oh no, DMZ is something different. It's
Yeah,
Al
it's weird.
Mazrah. That's newer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that it was very weird. I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway,
It's an entirely different game. I'm still getting the hang of it, and it's been out for 2 months.
okay.
Um, Walt says he's earned nearly seven figures. It's in the seven figures. He says, "I
Mhm.
did very well." Proud of it.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Scarlett tells Walt that she learned from the best. Something tells her that Hank's here because of him, and she's not forgetting that.
Tough tough crowd. Oh.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. That's it for Kafkaesque. A lot happens in this episode, but at the same time, it's not a very active Breaking Bad episode.
Right, a lot happens, but it's not extremely dense either, like, it's kind of, I don't know, there's some cool imagery. There's that scene with Walt, like, almost crashing and stuff, and, there are things that happen, but there, a lot of it can be taken in these big brushstrokes, like Marie having trouble with the insurance company, can all just be summed up with, hey, they're having trouble. They're going to have trouble paying for the best optimal care for him. Boom, you just move on.
Yeah.
And it sets up the problem. It's really just used to set up our ending, which is a really good hook of the episode is kind of them somewhat, but not really coming and being honest with Marie. They're honest about the money, but not how they got it. Which is again, it's kind of like it's like those episodes of like Smallville or something when you think somebody was going to figure out who Superman was or something like that, and right at the end, it ended up being the wrong thing, and it's like, oh god, the relief that washes over you as like a viewer is so intense. And I wonder, I kind of was like, man, what the fuck? I wonder what Walter would have done if Skyler was just like, yeah, Walter cooks meth and sells meth, and that's how he's paid for all this money. And it's like, oh my god, dude, that'd be the end of it,
What do you think
just
Marie would have done?
just hard cut to him, like, I had the time. Just him crying and choking both of them to death. Oh no, Marie would lose her shit because it's pretty obvious that whoever did this is obviously related to drug related shit, and she would just see Walt as part of a problem contributing. Whether it's meth or cocaine or heroin or ecstasy, whatever, she would see him as being contributing to a lifestyle that put her husband in the hospital, and she's not totally wrong to obviously to an extent. I think the jig would have definitely been up right then and there.
I think that's a very astute observation, Colin.
Oh, thank you.
Like I said, that's it for Kafkaesque. Next episode is a very controversial episode called Fly that I can't wait to cover.
Interesting. Me too.
Directed by Ryan Johnson, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Who's
Good for him.
currently killing it on Netflix with Glass Onion, which is a great movie.
Who hasn't made a good movie since Looper? No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
Knives Out was incredible, man.
Knives Out was pretty good. I think I like Looper more, but yeah, he's a good director.
I think I like Glass Onion better than both those movies.
I'll have to check it out. Check it out.
Really, really great. But anyway, look. Oh, by the way, he directed one of the best episodes of television, and it's in this series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know Looper was in Breaking Bad. That's crazy. I'm just kidding.
Fuck you. All right, anyway. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here at Bad Crystal Breaking Bad podcast. Please continue to support the show. We do apologize. Oh, well, I mean, I don't apologize for anything really, but
we're still here. We just it's tricky, and we can only do these episodes one at a time due to the way that the show is structured.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get some more done here in the next few weeks.
Yeah. At this point, you guys are probably wondering like why we're apologizing 9 episodes into this season, but like it's the gap between the ending of season 2 and the starting of season 3 is pretty massive.
Mm-hmm.
But not for a lack of trying.
Right.
I love doing these episodes. Collins,
I do too. I really do enjoy them. But it's tricky to try to schedule everything, and especially just like you said, when you got lives and stuff going on, it's you're just another plate you got to spin, but we got to figure out how to spin it. So that's on us,
Definitely. But yeah, please continue to support us, guys. We would love to be back for a season 4, but we'll see you guys next fortnight with Fly.